Folks, and welcome to my top 200 board games of all time. What are the 10 games that couldn't get into top 100? This is always hard because when you get this close to it, you know all these games got considered as top 100 games, but eventually I had to decide which ones were in and which ones were out. And it was a really hard choice because all these games I think I played more than once, and so they're all in the mix to get in, but sadly, not every game can be a top 100 game, right? So what is 110? 110 is an excellent worker placer game, The River. Don't listen to all these haters who say it's a terrible game. It's a great game. You can get it for dirt cheap now. It's very tight worker placement. Yes, it is gathering resources, just building buildings, but it's a little bit more than that because on your player board, you're also collecting these tiles. The tiles can give you more of a certain resource, but you also need barns to store it in, so certain tiles can provide you barns. You can store more goods in there when you collect them. Also, if you get the colors to match up vertically, the river is winding on your board, but if you get them to match up vertically, you'll also get some extra victory points. There's a lot of victory points you can get in this game, and the more powerful you get, the less workers you'll have out there. And I love that too. The game is just so beautiful and so much fun to play. And again, this is a game that's right up my alley because it's a game most people don't even care about and say, oh, it's not that good. And then they'll mark it down like $10. Pick up a copy. Pick up a copy. It is such a great game, such an underrated game, and it is 110 in my place. As you see, it's been in my top 100 for the past couple of years, but I think this year and the first year it was ever on my list were the only two times it wasn't in my top 100. But great game, The River. Next one is 10 Penny Parks. This is the second year it's been on my list, so it gets this. I call it the sophomore slump. Once it's been on my list, all the excitement about playing it a million times goes away the year after. You don't play it as much. So these games usually tend to drop, and this one did. Not too bad, though, just outside the top 100. I did get the mini expansion on, I can't remember what it's called. It's like Fast Pass or something, and it's on Board Game Geek, the BGG store, and it is definitely worth getting. I will always play with that because if you go, it just highlights a section on the board where if you go just that round, and that round only in the game, you'll get this type of bonus point. And it really changes the way you play the game. You're like, oh, man, the bonus is there now. I didn't want to do that action until next round, but let me go ahead and do it now because you get this bonus right now. And I really want that bonus. And I notice people's eyes just kind of go to those corners where the bonuses are and where they usually wouldn't go, they would that round just to get that bonus. Sometimes they don't, but either way, I love that these little mini modules, they can make a big impact in the game. That's what it did. And I did play this more than once this year. And it just got, when I was shuffling up the games, it just landed right outside the top 100. But 10 Penny Parks, really solid game, newer game. Another game, I don't know if this game kind of took off. I think it had a little hotness for a little while and then disappeared because the next game came out. Everyone says, ooh, the new shiny. But I just kept looking at 10 Penny Parks and going, hey, nothing wrong with this one. Love it. So there it is, 109. 108 is the game that got me into board games. It is Zombes by Twilight Creations, Inc. Yes, roll and move. Yes, play a card to help you or screw other players. It's very simple, right? Killing 25 zombies or getting to the middle of the helipad. But this made me realize that board games had grown up. And it wasn't just Monopoly and Life and Sorry anymore. It was other games like Zombes. And it's still, even though it's kind of been always on the top, outside the top 100 the past couple of years, there was a time when we played this every weekend. Every weekend we played Zombies. That's all we ever played. Then as I started building my collection, we played Zombies and another game. And then a whole night of Zombies and then one other game. And then now I've kind of weaned them off Zombies, even though I kind of regret that now. I wish we could play Zombies more often. And they do too. We did have a big zombie. We had Zombiegeddon for the first time in a few years. We played Zombiegeddon. We combined all the expansions, played them up here. I had several tables leaned out. We were using the tables, but it was a great game too. I did win Zombiegeddon 20-23. I am the victor, which I didn't think I would because I was so far behind. In this one, you have to kill 50 zombies without dying. That's a really hard thing to do. But I was getting close. But I killed maybe 40 zombies, but there were just 40-something zombies, and there were no zombies between me and like literally 2 tables down. That's how far the game had progressed. And they knew what I was doing. I was trying my fastest just to run and catch up with them so I could kill zombies. So they started killing zombies just to make sure I wouldn't catch up to them and win. And then someone wasn't thinking, and he saw that I had a lot of bullets because I was going in stores robbing some bullets. He played a card that filled up the building with zombies. He went, watch this, guys. I'm going to make Matt use them bullets. And the girl looked at him and went, he has almost 50 kills. And my buddy goes, oh, yeah. And I was like, thank you. And I killed that exactly. I think I had 42 kills, and he filled up the building with 8 zombies. So he had just enough. And I did have to use a lot of my bullets. He was right. I had to use just about everything, but I did end up winning the game. And he said, oh, that was a dumb move. He was thinking that he'd surprise me and kill me instead of wait for it. He just kind of forgot that I was coming up there to kill them zombies and win the game. But it was a lot of fun. If he would have stayed, it was my buddy Nick, and if he would have stayed another day, we were going to do another Zombiegeddon. That was one of the 2 days he was gone. 2 of those days were going to be back-to-back Zombiegeddons with different folks who could show up at different times. But he had to leave early, so we had to cut out day 2 of Zombiegeddon. And it's too bad because I wonder one more day, would that have made a difference? Would it have bumped it into my top 100? Because I have fond memories of the game. In fact, the new edition came out. I just reviewed that. It's great. I'll play with it. And then the newest expansion, Museum of Weird. Now, I gotta say there are some issues with the Museum of Weird I have, but overall, the gameplay, Zombies as a whole is fun. My kids got a card in Zombies of Weird, which I thought was great, and I'm interested. What is Carrie Breitenstein, who runs the company, what's she gonna do next? I know she just got this out. She wants to rest up, not think of anything till next year maybe. But hey, guess what? I'm down. This game took 3 years to come out, and it doesn't matter because now I'm ready. What's next for Zombies, Carrie? Let me know. I'm in. I'm all in on the Kickstarter. Because this is the game that got me into this great hobby that we all love here. So even though it may not ever get in my top 100, maybe it will just never happen. No matter how many Zombageddons I play or how many times we go back to playing the game, I'll be honest, I wouldn't even want to play the game every weekend anymore. But at the same time, it's never going to leave my collection. Has a soft spot in my heart. Zombies, thank you. You are at 108. My number 107 is a game that has, except for its first year, has always been my top 100. This is the first time it's been out for a while, and it hurt my feelings here, but Nobleman. TMG Games. People, this is another game you get for super cheap. I don't know if anyone realizes how strong a game this is. You're placing tiles and getting certain actions with those tiles, either more tiles or more coin or more victory points. And it's so nice. It's so beautiful looking. There's a lot of strategy involved here. We usually play this game several times, and it did get played several times this year, but unfortunately with new games coming in and just other games passing it up, I guess I had to be honest with myself and had to drop this one sitting outside looking in. But don't, just because a game's super cheap and no one's talking about it, don't just pass up. At least give it a shot. Look at my review. I think there may be another review out there too. See what you think about it. And for $5-10, I saw someone going free. You just have to pay shipping. I was like, what? That's ridiculous. Why someone just give the game away? I know it was overproduced and everything, and it didn't take off like TMG thought it would. But still, it's a pretty solid game. It just doesn't get love. All right, number 36. First time off the top 100. I looked at the game earlier and I said, I apologize. I'm so sorry. Scoville. There it is right there. Scoville. I love this game where you're planting peppers, picking peppers, and then, of course, exchanging those peppers for points, either by selling them at the market for small points or cashing them in for recipes, which is the big one. But it takes a while to get a recipe. Oh, boy. And by the way, we play with the little the Labs, Scoville Labs expansion. We always play with that. We'll not play without it because it's a great way to get some extra peppers that you may need in the game. Really great game, easy to play, fun to learn. We don't really need the chart that much anymore because we played it so many times. So me and my buddies kind of know what when we're mixing peppers, what color pepper comes after that. We consult the chart every once in a while, but not really anymore. And another TMG game that is so good. But I think maybe, I don't know. I can't explain why. I won't explain why some of these don't make it in the top 100, but I know this is his first time not to. And I found that out after I made the list. I'll compare it to last year's just to kind of see. And I was like, oh, and I did think about it. I said, should I move this? No, I can't do that. I got to go with my heart. I mean, I got to go with my head instead of my heart there. Or, I'll make excuses for why every game should be a top 100 game. But definitely a good one. You should check it out if it's cheap to get. I don't even know what the price would be on this. My next game is experiencing, I need to check my list and see if this is the sophomore slump we're looking at here. No, it's not. It's the first time. It's been in my collection for 3 years. First time outside the top 100. Stefan Feld's Castles of Burgundy. Everyone says this is his best one. A lot of people put this in their top 10, top 5, number 1 a lot. Just in board games overall. Yes, it is a brilliant game. I agree. It just came out with some like Uber Duber edition, I think. I think that was it. But either way, though, Castles of Burgundy, believe the hype. It is really good as you're rolling the dice, taking those actions in the game to get those victory points. And, like I said, you're filling up your board in different areas, and there's several different ways to get victory points by whatever tiles you get on your board. It doesn't look like much on paper, but it's not called big box, but the little special edition one that has all the little mini expansions to it, it goes on sale at Amazon every once in a while, and so it's definitely worth picking up. They have another, no, I'm thinking about another game completely. Whoops. But this game, this Castles of Burgundy, is just great. Just as new every year, it's kind of been falling on my list when it first hit the top 100 a couple of years ago. I remember it made a little bit of a drop last year, and now it made a little bit of a drop just right outside the top 100. Nothing wrong with the game, just new games and other games keep pushing it down. But again, this is good failed. Maybe I should do a video about all the there's a few games that are way too expensive. I can't even play for failed, but a lot of his games, like I said, I'm 50-50 on them. Sometimes they just don't interest me. Sometimes they do. This is one that's definitely a solid game. My number 104. Wow, Tasting Mitchell Games is all over the place here today. It's Crusaders I Will Be Done. The expansion came out like last year, I believe, and I will never play without it. It gives you extra buildings to play because what the territories get, especially in a 4-player game, territories get taken up really quick. And if there's some buildings you just can't place anywhere because there's no place to place buildings, so you can't get more bonuses. Well, what this expansion does, it lets you build on top of someone else's building. It's a different type of building that gives you a different type of bonus, and a lot of these bonuses let you upgrade your player board. Something that had to take one of your precious few actions, you would upgrade your player board. Usually, you didn't want to do that because that was almost like a waste of turn because if everyone else is doing something and you just didn't upgrade, I mean, yeah, next time you'll have more variety on what you can do on that player board, but you didn't get, it's not that big advantage. So a lot of people weren't upgrading their player boards just because it seemed like a wasted turn. So they came out with this expansion that now, if you put these special buildings out, a lot of them will upgrade certain areas on your board. So now you never have to waste an action upgrading your board. You just build one of the secondary buildings and you do it for free. I love that. I think it's brilliant. This game is awesome. I know it's back in print again, and I don't know who's carrying it now, but totally awesome game. Crusaders, thy will be done. Next up is a new game. When I played this one, I said this is a top 100 game. I was almost right. Bot Factory makes it a 103. This is Eagle Griffin Games. I bought this the moment it came out. I knew this was a perfect game for me. And every time we played it, it is not disappointed. Worker placement in a way, but you can't stay in the same spot twice. So you got to move to different areas of the board. So you're kind of balancing your turns. There's things you want to do back to back, but you just can't. So you gotta say, okay, where do I want to go next? Okay, I want to go here next, then here, then here, then here. And there are some actions you can do that can combo into other actions, which is really good when you can get that going. But this one, you're building robots, of course, for victory points. You don't want to hoard any spare parts or pieces or whatnot because that's negative points in the game. Only once did I ever finish the game with a perfect score, meaning I didn't have any negative points and I won the game. That has not happened since. I always have negative points now. I realized at the first game that probably didn't happen that much. But Bot Factory has dropped a little bit in price too. And I think it's on. It was on sale. I don't know. It may still be on their Black Friday sale. It seems to continue through the holidays, but definitely check out Eagle Griffin Games and see if the game is marked down because I think it's a pretty decent price. It's got some great pieces in there, great wooden pieces. The robots look great, and it's so much fun. So much fun. I swore when I got this like earlier this year, I said this is a top 100 game, and just too many other games came and barely pushed it out to 103. Another new one that I just recently reviewed, probably the last game I reviewed here, Belfort's 102, another TMG game. Hey, TMG is all over this top 200 here today. This is a solid game. It's just since my review, I've not had a chance to get to the table. Now, I'm hoping that by the time this video comes out, I have played it again. It is on my it's high on the list of getting it back to the table immediately because I had a lot of fun, but I want to see what else we can do with it. You know, I want to get some more guilds in there. Since then, I've gotten a little promo for it too, and definitely want to start playing it more, seeing some more special abilities that are out there that I can use that the expansion does for it. So that is a really fun game. I don't know how easy it is to get all these expansions and whatnot. The base game is very simple to get, and to be honest, that's really probably you could have a lot of fun by just playing just the base game, to be honest. But when I love a game, I go all out, man, and I do. I just didn't get a chance to bring it back to the table. It was just such a short time. Like I just finished that review as of this video. I just finished it. What was it, last week? So, you know, now I'm filming these now, and there just wasn't enough time to get this one to the table. But Belfort, excellent game. Can't wait to see what it does in 2024. Finally, what game just missed out on being a top 100 game? It is a Stefan Feld game that nobody talks about. Isla. I love this game. You have your little player board, and you're building special powers on it. And eventually you always have to, you know, either get rid of the card or insert your special powers are always changing too. And that's a good thing because you want your strategy to change up as you're trying to, the instructions say hunt, which I love it because they said that was a misprint. You don't hunt extinct animals, but no, I love it. You're hunting and killing, I guess, these extinct animals. And you're basically just capturing them and whatnot. And you're also, it's classic Feld where one card can signify several different things depending on how you play it. You know, it could be getting a cube, getting a special power, moving a special animal up the victory track. Because that way, if you have a lot of them, you'll get some big victory points at the end. So there's a lot of moving pieces, and you can only use that card for one of those reasons. And I love it. I love it. It's very much like Bruges, another game that he loves, that a ton of people love, where one card can signify several different actions in the game. This is kind of on a smaller scale because it's only like 3 actions. But at the same time, it is important. And you can, even I've kind of had to pause for it and go, oh, which one do I want where? Because there's just a lot of decisions that have to be made. The game is uber cheap as well. So again, it just makes it the perfect one for people on a budget to get if they really want a game they can enjoy. All right, folks, that is it for my top 200, but we're not done yet. Come back and I'll talk to you about my top 100 games of all time. See you then.